its biggest mosque so Trump could get a private tour. Out of respect, President Trump took his shoes off to walk on the largest handmade carpet in the world. He told reporters he was taken by how beautiful the mosque was. He said, "This is an incredible culture. Pure white marble as far as you could see." Then 47 went to the Royal Palace, where he got a hero's welcome.
السلام الوطني للولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. سلام.
At this point, Trump's shaken every hand in the Mideast.
I shook more hands than any human being is capable of doing. That was a long deal, and they were big people. But they were starving for love, because our country didn't give them love. They gave them a fist bump. Remember the fist bump?
Trump's wrist got so tired from shaking hands, he let Lutnick sign the deal.
Better be a good deal. That's gonna be a great deal.
The UAE is investing $1.4 trillion in America. We're building a huge AI data center in their country, and they lit up their city red, white, and blue to celebrate. But that might have been topped when the royal awarded Trump with his country's highest honor.
I am honored to announce that His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan bestows the Order of Zayed upon President Trump.
Betting sites have Trump favored to win the Nobel Peace Prize. On this trip, he kind of earned it. America spent trillions trying to bring peace to the Middle East, and now Trump's making them pay us, and they love us. Today, 47 said he's getting close to making a deal with Iran. But if they don't play ball, things could get ugly.
Probably read today the story about Iran has sort of agreed to the terms. They're not going to make, I call it in a friendly way, nuclear dust. We're not going to be making any nuclear dust in Iran. And we've been strong. I want them to succeed. I want them to end up being a great country. Frankly, but they can't have a nuclear weapon. I think we're getting close to maybe doing a deal.
You know, it's really breathtaking as we watch this together, Martha. It's a new dawn, really a resetting of our relationship with the Middle East. And it's not just the investment. It's President Trump doing things no other president has done, whether it be direct talks with Iran, Syria, the removing of the sanctions, whether it be Kashmir, intervening there. And now here you see him at the UAE, trillions of dollars of investment, $1.4 trillion in this very country.
It's astonishing, the shakeup that we're seeing. It's as if President Trump is on, overdrive as he moves into all of these areas, shaking up relationships in the Middle East and bringing prosperity and analogizing that with peace. And this, as you said, Kayleigh, is clearly the Trump doctrine. And I look at the energy of the executive that we see from President Trump, and it's clear that he is exhilarated by these moments, that he wants to keep going. He said earlier today, well, maybe I'll go to Turkey tomorrow. If Putin shows up, then we'll just stop in Turkey on the way home. But the list of accomplishments is absolutely stunning in terms of recognizing Syria, ending the sanctions with Syria. But look at what Ben Rhodes is saying, former Obama advisor. He said, it's so clearly the right decision on Syria. I don't know why Joe Biden didn't do this. And just quickly, he went on to say, sometimes you just have to try something different. And that is clearly what we're watching at just an incredibly fast pace here in the Middle East.
And let's listen in. This is our national anthem about to play ahead of the UAE anthem just after that. thing Martha said, I think, was very important. She talked about Ben Rhodes, and she talked about some of the Biden administration assessments of this trip. They've been really fascinating. They came out in Axios. Emily, here's a Biden administration official. Gosh, I wish I could work for an administration that moves this quickly. Another Biden administration official, when his personal instincts, Trump's, coincide with the national interest, it's pretty remarkable how quickly he can move. And then yet another on Syria. It's so clear it was the right decision. Why didn't Joe Biden do this? There are about a half dozen quotes. And it's just breathtaking to think about the past administration watching this and thinking, whoa, we didn't keep up.
Well, I think there are 77 million Americans who aren't surprised whatsoever. This is exactly who we know President Trump to be and who they voted for. And I loved what you said about the New World Order, because I want to point out the narrative and the coverage that's occurring in the mainstream media and on the left. So as we speak, as we are showing this historic moment, historic developments in the realm of foreign diplomacy and in economic interest in the global stage, the other networks are covering the SCOTUS arguments for birthright citizenship. All last night, all the talking heads were obsessed with the Qatar jet, the gift, and the potential for that, and talking about the king and the dictator and all the things. And it just sort of blows my mind that the paradigm shift that we are witnessing in real time, which has such fundamental implications for truly every nation out there, as we've talked about, to sort of reject after all of these decades the geopolitical sort of incursion model, leaving our blood and treasure, totally separating business and economic interests from any type of diplomacy possible. And now we come in with a breath of fresh air that is President Trump. With the administration, he has surrounded himself by those brilliant, like-minded individuals in service to the American people for the first time, that says we are here to exhibit peace through strength and to invest in relationships that will have generational impact. We release these chains, these decades-long sanctions of inheritance, and see you not for what you've done in the past, but for what we might achieve in the future. That is so historic. And unfortunately, this mainstream media and what we're hearing out of some Democratic congressmen or lawmakers, it is leaving the forest for the trees. So I'm glad those individuals in the Obama and Biden administrations are sort of shocked by this, but they're at least noting the accomplishment and the speed with which it's occurring. But certainly I hope the media gets on board, because every American deserves to see what an incredible evolution we are seeing in the genesis right now.
Yesterday, Donald Trump went to Saudi Arabia and secured a $1 trillion deal. Today, he's in Qatar, where he secured a $1.2 trillion deal. So in 2 days of being on the road in the Middle East, he secured, signed contracts, signed deals, $2.2 trillion. So in just a matter of a few months, we left from having a president who was handing out money whatever chance he get. He was just pumping out money, millions, tens of millions, and billions of dollars at a time. And on top of that, everybody who he was giving money to was ungrateful. Nobody respected or appreciated him or the American people. To now having a president who in 2 days he secured over $2 trillion. And everyone's showing respect. Matter of fact, they called him the president of the world, not just the United States. They actually said that.
And this commentator doubled down, saying Trump deserves recognition for his peace efforts. He said, "The bromance between Donald Trump and Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman is off the charts. Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. Peace through strength."